What you're about to see is an edited version of the original live stream that took place on Friday night, July 12th. There was a copyright complaint filed about the Disneyland fight video rather than fight with the person about it, even though the video is like all over the world and posted everywhere. They wanted to, act a fool. So rather than deal with that drama and have them making some revenue off of the other 99% of the video, which is 100% my content, I decided to take the video down, edit out that part, and upload it again. Unfortunately, all the view counts and all your comments and responses will be gone as well, your likes and all of that. Unfortunately, that's just something that, that's just the L we got to take. But I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the video because it's very funny. And be sure to become a subscriber to the channel and join us for another Dusty News Network broadcast next Friday night. See you later. Bye. Today, I am wearing a dust mask because we have some of the dustiest shit you have ever seen in your life. I'm like, shit, I'm going to end up with emphysema messing with these folks. I thought you would like this, my little sight gag. I'm serious, though. We got some serious dust going on today. Some serious dust. I'm going to have to take this damn thing off. Wait a minute. Whew, there we go. Sunday's your 4th of July holiday? Well, good. Bust a few firecrackers for me because I'm so sick of them things. I couldn't get any sleep last. I knew you guys would like that. That's why I found it and I was like, oh, let me put this on. I had it from last year when we had all those fires here in the Bay Area. Man, she was burning. I thought, okay, the whole state going to be on fire in a minute. Yes, but these things saved me. And believe it, one of my Facebook friends sent them because they were all out of them here in the Bay Area. So she sent me a whole box of these so a sister could get some breath. You wasn't ready, girl. You got to be ready when you come up in here. You never know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, what kind of side of me you going to see. But I want to welcome everybody to the another Friday night edition of the Dusty News Network. On this show, this is something we knew we started, I don't know, about 5 or 6 weeks ago. Through the summer, I'm going to be featuring the memes and the posts and the comments of some of the dustiest men you have ever seen in your life from all over the internet. And you guys, I have to congratulate you. You have been wonderful about sending things in. So, a couple of them, again, are some that I found, but for the most part, these came from you. And everybody did a great job sending in some really very, very interesting things. So let us begin with a video. Have you ever in your life seen anything so dusty? Okay, first of all, let's talk about the baby wandering freely through the middle of the fight, just wandering around, like unsupervised. Nobody giving a fuck about the 2-year-old wandering around in the middle of all these duking adults. I found that the most amazing thing. Then that old ass crippled granny gonna get her ass off the hover round and try to get in the mix. Bitch, sit down. Sit your ass down. You can barely stand up. What you gonna do? So she got her little ass clocked, and so she down on the ground. And I mean, like, dude was just going crazy till all them big ass white boys jumped on him and magically his ass got calm. Did you see that? You got 4 or 5 white boys big and heavy as you that was like, oh no, nigga, we tired of this shit now. You got to stop. And so they brought him down. But I'm like, why didn't they do that before that? Because it's enough all them men standing around there, 20 of them could have mobbed him, and that nigga would have been down like that, no matter what he said. So I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, you just can't take some folks now. Then he gonna be hollering out his gang and all this stuff. Ain't you a little old for that? That shit people do when they in their teens and early 20s. This nigga had to be in his mid to late 30s and walking around there hollering out gang IDs and stuff. I don't know. I just like when I look at women who have men like that. See me, if I'm somewhere with you, and I'm talking about even if I was there and they were a couple that I was there with, I would immediately end the friendship. Don't call me, bitch. You crazy. Your nigga crazy. His mama crazy. All y'all crazy, and I don't want nothing to do with you. It would be, I'd be through, over. It's that you're not going to embarrass me and act a fool like that. And no, I would not sat around and tried to help him either. I would have got it, just made a UE and went the other way. Now, I'm going to fight if it's some stuff about me. I'm going to fight if I see you doing something to a kid. I'm going to beat your ass. If I see you trying to hurt an old person and their defenses, I'm going to beat your ass. But these are two young people. Young folks, they can fight it out by themselves. He don't even know why he was doing all that. If you really watch it, he don't even know. He just overreacting to everything. And then he attacked his own girlfriend because she accidentally pushed his mama down. But the mama should have had her ass in her hover around and she would have could have wheeled herself on out the scene. But now she want to stand up. I guess she thought she was gonna whack somebody with her cane. We don't know, DJ. You saw as much about it, as much about it as we do. Shit, what, we mind readers? We don't know what the fuck was going on. It's a person recording and started, the nigga started acting stupid. And then he started want to beat up everybody. He wanted to attack the women. That's what he was doing. He was attacking the women. And then the other dude came to his woman's defense. And then that's how it came. But he never was, he wasn't trying to go after the men. He was going after the women. Did you notice that? Big ass punk. Too bad one of them didn't have a gun and shoot his ass. So now you understand why I started the show with my dust mask on, because I wanted to get that out of the way first, because it was just too unbelievable. Thank you to whoever sent me that. They sent it to me. I think it was on Facebook. I had to download it, but I just couldn't believe it. Poor Disneyland, supposed to be the most magical place on earth. Uh, See, that's why I don't like. I don't like crowds of folks. I don't like crowds. I haven't liked crowds. I got involved in a stampede one time with some gunfire at a nightclub in Berkeley, and since then I just don't like crowds of people. It just makes me really anxious. So I don't. I haven't been able to go back to nothing like Disneyland. Little concerts and you will never see me there. I'll go to a small jazz club. I like what you call them down in Jack London Square. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's just a small venue. I'll go there, but I'm not going to like the Oakland Coliseum. I'm not doing anything like that. Nope, 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 no more. Yeah, I wish the police were there too. It's like they never shoot the ones who need to be shot. So, yeah, because he was talking shit to her. Of course, I mean, one of my brothers, I probably would be, that angry too. But I just wanted to show you guys that as an example of, this. What are you doing? And that's probably his son that was in the little stroller, because she was saying baby, baby, the girl with the long braids. I don't know. Is that or is his sister? I don't know. I don't know who it is. But whatever it is, it was a bunch of dusty folks. And I just wanted you to see that. Now, let's move on to our slideshow. We've got a lot of slides to go over today. This one, yeah, Yoshi's. Thank you, Princess. All of a sudden, my mind went blank because I saw so much dust in my eyes. I couldn't. It was affecting my thinking. Now, this one, this guy, look at what he says to her. She like, who is this? And he's like, it's me, so and so. We met at the pool party. I'm sorry, but I don't remember you. How did you get my number? And he's like, "Are you kidding me? You don't remember me? Wow. You a bougie fat bitch. And to think I was gonna ask you to go out to dinner with me, but don't need to eat no more anyway." Then he comes back, "I'm sorry. I'm just tired of females acting bougie. Would you still go to dinner with me and I'll explain?" Wait a minute, let me think about it. No, no, no. Know, no. Well, I'm not going nowhere with you because you can't control your mouth. See, this is a perfect example. Now, see, some women, and this, some women are like, "Oh, he didn't mean it. He just got upset. He, whatever." And so you'll make an excuse for his behavior, and then you would go out with him. But see, the man has already shown you who he is, ladies. Come on now. You gotta stop being so forgiving and wanting to, heal everybody and love everybody and all that old shit. He insulted her, he demeaned her, and they attacked her because she didn't I know who he was. Now you met somebody at a pool party. She probably met 30 dudes at the pool party. Can you identify yourself? "Oh, I was the one who had the such and such a hat on, and or does this and that swim trunks, and or whatever." I mean, identify yourself in some way. And all she wanted to know is how he got her number. If she don't remember giving it to him, he said, "Well, you gave it to me." Or I mean, answer her question. Don't turn around and start attacking her like that. But that's what he chose to do. And so, that's somebody who is not wrapped too tight. And then you see how he flip flopped. Say that motherfucker bipolar as hell. I know that's not a good bet to go anywhere. Anybody, no, nothing with that fool ever. There it is again. In case you just wandered in, we're doing our weekly dragging of men and their nonsense that they post on the internet. I got some stuff that women posted too this time. It's some dusty chicks out there just like the men. Okay, let's move on to the next one. You know I hate that B word. When I say the B word, I don't mean bitch. I mean this one right here. I can't stand that word. But here they go, trying to blame their triflingness on women. "All men are the same," he says. "A wise woman decides to stop choosing the same kind of men." Well, that's kind of difficult since so many of you, by the millions, are exactly alike. So picking one that's different is very difficult. As I've explained many times, it's not so much the man, it's the culture of black men, what they are expected to do, how they're expected to be, the things that they're taught about manhood, and how they're raised to use and pimp and take advantage of people. There's always a game afoot, always trying to get the upper hand, always trying to test people and see how, what they can get away with and all this other stuff. And it's their mentality. So and if a guy doesn't do that kind of thing, then the other dudes will call him a simp and a sucker, and he's soft and he's moist and he's all these kind of things. So most dudes don't want to be that. So they're going to comply with the you know the kind of guidelines that other men put on them for to be part of this manhood pool. And it creates a very difficult situation for young women growing up and looking for a mate, to try to find a guy who's risen above that. Let me put it that way. Who may have been involved in that at some point in his life, but by the time he hit his 20s, he realizes that was a bunch of nonsense. It's not going to get him anywhere. It's not going to get him the kind of love and commitment and relationship that he wants. So he lets that go, and he stops trying to get the approval of other knuckleheads, and instead tries to get the approval of somebody who's going to pay him some money and somebody who's going to love him. Okay, but that's not what they do. It's not what they do. So when he's saying that a wise woman decides to stop choosing the same kind of men, I mean, that's damn near impossible. Like I said last week, what you pretty much have to do, ladies, is just find a man that has the level of fuckery that you can tolerate, because they all have some. And my lovely husband, as much as I loved him, there were some things about him that drove me batshit crazy, you know. and we would fight about it. And so, you just have to figure out whatever your needs are. If he meets those and those things that he does for you and with you, whatever, the benefits that he brings to your life outweigh those negatives. And if it far outweighs it, then that's probably about as good as you're gonna get. And someone had pointed out to me last year, this girl sent me an email, and she says, "Well, it basically sounds like women are settling." And I'm saying that that might be that's not really the word that I would find be comfortable with. It's more like adjusting your expectations to the reality of who men are. Because we grow up as little girls with this knight in shining armor thing. They ain't that. They not even in shining armor, and they're not knights. So to look for a knight in shining armor, that's a double whammy that you're gonna get the smackdown on that. So you just look for a regular guy. He's gonna have some stupid shit about him. He's gonna be have some fucked up side of him that you just don't really appreciate too much. But if like I said, if you find that what he does offer is of more value to you than what he doesn't, or the nerves that he works, then that's probably your dude, and that's about as best as it's going to get. So this meme here, um, is offering, is blame shifting. Instead of saying, "Oh, me," that, why don't you make sure that you're not that dude, and then you wouldn't have to worry about this and be making stupid memes and posting them all over the internet. And that's just the reality. I mean, I don't want to, make people be like, "Oh, that's just so, it ruins my fantasy of happily ever after." No, you'll be happily ever after when you realize that there's no perfect man. Okay, that motherfucker ain't been born yet. And so, you just have to make your adjustments and get you a dude that you can roll your eyes about when he's not looking, but the rest of the time is pretty good. That's what you got to do. Now, this shit here, I found this. I think I was on Facebook when I found it, so maybe it was Instagram. I quickly saved this shit to my phone, and yeah, they don't grow. What they do, they grow up and they be mature around 45, but that's when they start needing Viagra. So it becomes like, a bad situation. They just useless for most of their lives. Just, I don't know what to say. But look at this shit right here. Not just one woman, another woman pregnant. If you want to leave, go ahead. No, I won't leave you. I will help you raise the child. You know what this was, don't you? This was some Dusty's dream that he had, that it was his life would continue as lovely and wonderful, and he'd have help and support, and somebody would be holding him down and having his back and being his ride or die, even though he's out there acting stupid. See what I mean? This is one of the things, a lot of women deal with this kind of reality in their relationships and marriages. And you just have to decide for yourself. See, I can't decide that for you. Can you handle something like that? Can you overlook something like that? Is that, I mean, maybe if a woman couldn't have a child of her own, and this guy had a baby, and then the mother didn't want the baby and he brought the baby home, she might be happy because it would be half his kid. You know what I mean? And she would have the baby that she wanted, even though she didn't birth it. She would have the baby. So, there's different circumstances that people are going to find tolerable. So, I'm not here to tell you flatly anything except something that, I feel like is going to be ultimately detrimental to your self respect or your mental health or something like that, or your physical health. But in a situation like this, a lot of women have made that work, and they've, wrapped their minds around it, and they've been okay with it. Wouldn't be me, but you know, they make it work. And the situation I just just shared with you about the woman who couldn't have children, that actually happened to a friend of mine from college, and she had endometriosis. And then after she was treated and stuff, she couldn't get pregnant. And her husband went out and had a kid, and then the woman got cancer. I think the baby, I don't know, he wasn't two, he was less than 2 years old. And the husband brought him home, and she adopted him, and they raised him together, as their own. I mean, it was his kid, but she adopted the baby, and became her child too, and that was that. And the mother died, and that was it was a wrap. So, some people can make it work. Deb is like, nah, you and that nappy headed brat, get the fuck out. That would be me, because I'm just not that nice. Dusty Jr., probably. Dustelle if it's a girl. All right, now we get into the memes of death, where they start trying to kill your self-esteem, make you feel small, inferior, like you're nothing, that everybody's better than you. These are the kind of things that a lot of black women unfortunately fall for. You see the sisters, the more brown skinned sisters, they don't like us. They don't want us. And I'm like, why do you care? These dudes are trash. Why do you like attack yourself because some trash ball Dusty doesn't want you? You should be like jumping up and down and applauding and doing the Running Man and the Roger Rabbit and the Cabbage Patch and all them dances all put together. And, enjoy that they don't want you. I mean, why do you care? It always has made me just simply a curious mindset. But when you see dudes like this is what he's trying to do. He is trying to hurt black women by the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, when they see this kind of thing, and they're gonna read it and they're gonna, go into this pity party. Oh, they don't want us, they don't like us, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't know, the white chicks I know are way too smart for this shit. And they see the kind of black man who wants to put black women down for no reason other than that they have black skin. Then they feel like, and this has been reported to me, that the dude is trash and they don't want anything to do with him, because if they themselves like black women, these white chicks sometimes they like black women. They don't have no problem. They good friends, cool people. And then they see a dude trying to trash a sister for no reason, sister he don't even know, never met, never talked to, nothing. She hasn't done anything to him. Then, she's like looking at him like, what kind of man are you? I mean, why would somebody, you thinking that you putting them down is going to make me want to be with you? That's like, you're gross and disgusting. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's, just the ones I've met, European, Canadian, and some white girls from here right in the Bay Area, born and raised up here. And they just be like, what the fuck? You guys have to deal with that all the time? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, oh, this is so sad. But there you go. So I just wanted to show you that to you, to let you know, you see this kind of shit, do not get in your feelings. Ladies, do not. Thank the heavens that he doesn't want you, because he's trash. This is anybody trying to do emotional abuse on the internet like this is just a trashy person. Now this one is real interesting. This guy, Bob Fondo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I don't be doing them brothers from the continent. Well, Lady Vin, he can't hurt you unless you let him. And that's my whole point. Don't let it. You don't know this motherfucker, so why are you tripping? Yeah, Sue. Yeah, Sue. I see Sue is cool. Every other Canadian chicks I've met are like, no problem. Are just very wonderful people. But look at this dude. Okay, now he's showing this little Pinocchio looking chick that he's marrying. And he wanted to share the 10 things that he likes about her that she did for him before they got married. So first I wanted to show you this was what the post looked like. And then after her, when you know how you do click more and then it expands and it shows you the whole thing. Okay, so just there's that. This is a close up of the two of them so you can see what they look like. This is Bob Fondo. you know. And she's cute. If I was a dude, I probably wouldn't go for her. But she's not ugly. You know what I mean? She got like a little perky, fresh face and stuff. But behind those eyes lies someone who feels empty inside, and I will show you why on the next slide. Now, whoever sent this to me, was this Leandra? I don't remember who sent it, but they were kind enough to type out the 10 things, and whoever that was, I want to thank you. I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful because I didn't have to do it. I just had to cut and paste, and that saved me so much time. So these are the 10 things that she's done for him that he's congratulating her for. I want you to see this. This is I was speechless when I read. I'm like, shit, I didn't even do all that shit, and I was married. I still that nigga would still be waiting for me to do half of this shit. I just it's not me. I'm not gonna do all that because he now I had no place to sleep. I was sleeping on the couch. I found a place and she helped me pay my rent for months. How you gonna find a place if you don't have no money to pay your rent? What the fuck? She got me my first car that I ever had. My laptop got damaged. I needed so much at the time so I could work on my things in order to earn something. She gave me hers. Nigga can't go to the library. They have free computers there. She covered most costs for a date for a year. She invested in our first two businesses together and opted for me to run them full time. I never met her mom until when I brought my family to meet hers. She celebrated and congratulated me for any penny I made at the time, even when I was as little as $10. What are you 5? What the fuck? She supported everything I was trying to do to make ends meet, whether it earned us money or not. And though I'm very stable and all that now, I know she doesn't really care about those things. She cares about me solely. I know she'd give me anything in the world if she had it because she has proved it over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of woman I'm marrying. And I want you to know that he got dragged. People talked about him so bad. They're like, nigga, you ain't marrying a white woman. You marrying your mama. And she took care of you like a child. And, I mean, the dudes was disgusted, except, well, some of it was big pimping style. They're like, yeah, get it. But for the most part, everyone was really disgusted at her and for him for being that low on the bottom and, having to climb up on her back like that. And I'm like, what is he gonna do? Like, what if something happens to her? Then what? How is he? You know what I mean? These kind of men are so infantile and childish and lost. They need so much supervision and pumping up. Like she's congratulating him even when he only made something as little as $10, and he's like, Hercules, Hercules. I mean, what are you doing? You a grown ass man. $10. I mean, you should have made that every 5 minutes. That shouldn't be something that you getting kudos about. You all behind the 8 ball, homeless and shit? Nah, nah. Yeah, $10. That's what he said, even when it was as little as $10. She was all congratulating him. I just can't. But I just wanted to share that with you because it made a huge splash on Facebook this week, and thousands of people were just like, "You got to be kidding! What's wrong with her?" And now she's gonna be married to him. And now that he's talking about I'm stable. Now you ain't stable, nigga. She's stable and you just hanging on. Ugh, gross. Now here's another one. This guy actually had contacted me. I had been hearing his name for a while. For people saying, oh, they was following him and whatnot. And then he invited me to be on his show or something. Some kind of contact he wanted to make, but I declined. I don't do other people's shows. I just do mine. And when I saw this, I'm like, I must have sensed something. Black men devalue marriage to black women. Other women they gladly marry. Now, uh, what's that supposed to mean? Most black men that are married to black women. Notice I said most black men who are married. Most black men who are married to black women. Not all, but most. I already said that I said no. I sensed something and I can't even tell you what it is because I didn't know, I never had heard of him. But he contacted me on Facebook and wanted, to reach out and for me to be interviewed on his show or something. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Betty said her face is super stank right now. Yeah, no, I don't do men shows, and after some of the recent shit that I've been through, I don't even like having them on mine because they come out of left field with some nonsense. And you saw it happen to the other dude. I mean, we had good conversation stuff. I was like, thought this would be all right. Then he gonna start blazing up on on my show. I mean, I can't even show that show now because of that. I mean, it's just like it's. I mean, if anybody who has a link, they can still see it, but I can't make it as part of my my catalog of videos because of that. I mean, what were you thinking? So that was very disappointing. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. It's just I can't keep putting myself in a position to get, my little feelings hurt and disappointed like that. I'm like, wow, this is just terrible. But yeah, so here we go. This one is, another put down of, they don't want us mindset, you know. I don't know nothing about dude. So, somebody here might know, but I don't know. I don't I wasn't trying to validate uh, or give anybody any kind of pub off of my name. It's already bad enough when they want to talk about me and they put my name on their videos. They get, free hits that way. But this, I just didn't want to do it, and I'm glad I didn't. Next one. Now this dude was just like busting folks out. And you could tell he got them lips, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about who's heard my video about these bi men and how they have oh, then he went crazy? Well, I don't know. I know a lot of women who was telling me about him and he was, they liked him, but I don't know. After what I saw, I was like, well, why? Y'all tripping. But look at this clown here. He just busting folks out. Single on Facebook, a family man at home, and gay at my house. I'm like, oh, he just telling off people, just telling it all. But that's kind of dusty, but it still was kind of funny too. Okay, let's move on. Now this one got really, this dude, this one who posted this, he had a lot of stuff online that was just kind of whack. But this was the one that was really kind of amazing. Now, the stuff, y'all know the stuff Eve went through. I mean, Eve had to start going out um, on the, over to other countries and stuff. She was trying, that's how she met Max. His name is Maximilian Cooper. And he puts on these races in Europe. And dude is like a like a 10-time, 20-time millionaire. There you go, Nia. I was trying to not say the words. Thank you for the acronym, but that's exactly what I was alluding to. Them lips, them DSL lips. And so, so anyway, back to Eve. Now, I've always loved Eve. I thought she was extremely talented, and I loved her voice. And she was rapping and everything. She always had class and style. And so she be hooked up with Max, honey, and they never look back. That man married her. His kids love her. Even his ex-wife loves her. So, I mean, and she's happy. She looks good and peaceful and satisfied all the time. She's living the good life. And, she had her own money. She's still getting royalty checks, So, I mean, she don't have to work. She don't do nothing. Dude run around with dude all the time, enjoying a good life. Now, this dude is just the sour grapes for real. She's a prime example of how some of these bras will behave mannish and act niggerish with us black men, and then, like an on and off light switch, act cordial, cooperative, and humble with a white husband. Like he know what goes on in her house, right? This is the level of mentality and respect that we have to contend with. It's seen in public and in the workforce environment too. Now he don't know nothing. Eve living in Europe some damn where. This nigga probably ain't never been outside of Cleveland. But he certainly magically knows everything that's going on is in Eve's life in Eve's house. Thanks, Rena. And I'm like, uh, and so then he's saying that, that's what we have. She acts man. It's just, okay, she was a rapper. And during that era, that's the way that the female rappers dressed. Remember Aaliyah and Mary J with the boots, the Timbs on, and the baggy low cut baggy pants and stuff. That's the way that they dressed in that time. Okay, and that was her industry. We don't know what the woman dressed like when she wasn't working because we only saw her when she was in her persona as a rapper, right? Because she was working. And so we don't know what she dressed like at home or on her dates with her man and all this kind of stuff. Nobody knows that. But he somehow magically puts it on here like, she this is the first time she's ever worn a dress or something. And you got to realize when you don't have to look, the man that you with is not playing mind games. You don't have to have your defenses up. You don't have to wonder if you gonna pay, he gonna have enough money to pay for the date. You don't have to worry about him calling you out your name because he lost his temper and all this kind of stuff. Not saying that some white dudes don't do that. I'm just saying in this situation, that's obviously not happened because they've been married all this time, and she every time you see that girl, she happy as a clam, grinning and talking about how wonderful her husband is. And then plus, the white dudes they want to get married. Niggas want to live with you for 27 years. So it's like, and be a baby mama and all this old stuff. And so there's a big difference in culture in the upbringing and the respect that he shows his wife. So why can't she relax and just be as feminine as she wants to? Because she feels protected and safe and taken care of and well loved. That's what women want. And you, as a black man, if you ain't offering that, then don't expect a woman to give you all her femininity and shit because she's not going to. You play too many fucking mind games. And so she always got to have her defenses up, wondering what kind of bullshit you going to come in the door with today. She was on The View now. But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a whole different mindset. So she don't have to be like that. She don't have to be all tough and hard and protective, have her protective shield up because it's not necessary. Now you offer a woman that, and then you'll see that side of her. As long as you be on the internet calling people names like niggas and bitch, then that's exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna see defensiveness, and you're gonna see anger, and you're gonna see aggression because she has to have that in order to contend with you. Well, she just got on there though. This picture. She been married to do what, 10, 12 years now or something? She's been together a long time. All right. And then I found this. Pushing a cart, a homosexual. And talking about where the good woman at instead of hold me down. Some of y'all be falling for that nonsense. Lady Boss is crazy over there. But yeah, look at this nonsense. There's not too much to say here because we're all familiar with this mentality. But I thought that this picture perfectly exemplified the mentality that a lot of them have. They don't have nothing except, that wee, and that's it. They come in the door with their Jordans and a wee, and that's about all they got to offer. And so, you know, I just wanted you to see that though. But let's move on. Now, here's another one. That's another guy who's trying to do the same thing where he wants to make women feel bad, like they don't measure up, that there's something wrong with them. Now, this is on a group on Facebook that's, primarily black, not all, but largely. And so here he is putting this up to try to get at the women, um, and make them feel like there's something wrong with them, right? How do you feel after you realize nobody really wants you for marriage, only for play? I'm trying to see something. Well, his ass got dragged. That's what he got to see. Drag marks. Because people went off on him. Even some of the dudes was like, dude, really? What's wrong? What the fuck is your problem? And but I didn't bother with all of their stuff. I just wanted you to see this level of dust here. And really want you for marriage. How does somebody want you for marriage? I mean, you kind of got to want each other, really. And really, I think as the woman, you better want it as much, or you need to have want it just like he does, because you're going to be the one whose life is changed and the one who's going to be suffering the most. So you better really know what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, this guy, I don't know. I kind of don't even know what to say about this mindset that they have where they want to keep attacking black women and trying to make them feel like they don't um like they're not valuable, not worthy or something. It's just really some strange mentality that they have, and they seem to be very gleeful about these kind of posts that they do. That they make They just be like so excited about it. I'm like, wow, you guys are like super dusty. Yeah, I mean, seriously, marriage is not all that. So, I mean, that's why I say you better really know what the hell you doing when you start going talking that game. Now, this, I put what I said back to him in bigger typing so you could really see it. Look at that picture. Just here, take my credit card. You have the kid take all my money. Like the kid is in a cage and he has to pay in order to be able to, spend time with his child. And that's the implication of this drawing for those of you who may not understand what you're seeing. That is the implication that the mother's keeping the child a prisoner away from the father. Notice how it's on the other side of her body, away from him. That's what all of this is communicating. And he's like, please, 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 and bowing down and, giving her this money. So that's his little complaint up at the top. He's complaining about it. Um, you're either the reason more black families are unified or the reason more black families die. Which one of you, what have you got? God bless the woman that has a power. Some old crazy shit. I don't know. But anyway, there's my response. I just wanted him to understand. And he talking about God knows the real answer, so save it for him, not me. And I'm like, shit, you did. I got the answer. You don't need God when you got Deb. This nigga. I'm like, if you were married to the woman and in the house with your kid like you supposed to be, this black family that you talking about, then you wouldn't be having this problem. But you want to be a baby daddy. You want to have a kid and you want to keep the woman on a choke chain and think you're supposed to be out still doing everything that you want to do. But she's supposed to bow down to you and do all these things because you want it. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But I thought, this was some pretty amazing stuff. So I just had to throw my little roast out there. Then I went on about my business because there's no point. You can't argue with people like this, and they don't see. They refuse to accept their involvement in it. So trying to blame the whole destruction of the black family, whatever the mystical shit that is, on women. It's like, well, didn't you have a part in that? Why aren't you there with your child? Then you wouldn't have that problem. This shit was funny as hell. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Got to put the baby in a box and pretend like the baby is some new Jordans to get him to see his child. I thought I was going to die. It's like, who thought of this? It was utterly brilliant. Unbelievable. Bit of truth in it because, they'll be waiting in line for overnight and shit to get um, the latest Jordans and stuff. Unbelievable. Now look at this. Dear Christian sisters, he says, remember your pastor is human. Cover your breasts and your laps before you report another rape case. Now, what is that saying? That's saying that your pastor is a rapist. That's what that's saying. That's what this, so that if anything, this is that mentality that a lot of religious people have, that women somehow control men and that men have no self-control over their lust. So this is, by saying Christian and pastor bringing in into it, this is a direct association with the church, right? Because you ain't a pastor unless you got a church. So he's saying that if your pastor should become lust filled and assault you, it's your fault because of how you were dressed. That's what he's saying. And that you would then be reporting it as a case of sexual assault because you didn't cover your lap or your breasts. So, and when you see stuff like this, and I know y'all, a lot of y'all like to go to church and all this old stuff. But when you see things like this, where men are supposed to be in a position of leadership, right? They're supposed to be leading the flock and, responsible for these people's souls and all this kind of stuff. But this dusty, ashy motherfucker can't even control his dick. Why are you listening to a word he says? Why are you following him? What is wrong with you? Now, I'm sure there's some pastors out there that's doing the right thing. I don't personally know any, but I'm sure that somewhere on this planet there are some. Has to be. That's the law of averages. But when you have somebody who has this mentality and is presenting this as a viable, reasonable behavior pattern that you are responsible for as a Christian woman, how does that work? Either you're supposed to be the strength and the leader and the one that all these people can go to for knowledge, and you the right hand of Jesus and all this shit, or you just a dust mite with your dick in your hand just like everybody else. In which case, you don't need to be a pastor of nothing. You're just a dusty. So, you guys, this is something to really think about. I found this extremely disturbing. And he just, put it up there all proud with his name and his picture and everything. Just like, yeah, well, I mean, that's you. If any of that happened, it would be your fault. And no wonder you see like a lot of women don't report things because they know that this is the prevailing mentality in the black community. Somehow, even a little girl is responsible. And this is the shit that he's promoting. So I just wanted to walk you through that and, kind of open your eyes to think, what are you, what's going on that you want to associate yourself and put your spiritual health in the hands of someone like this. Even if it's not 100% in his hands, he's having some kind of contributing involvement with your spirituality. Why? Okay, you need to consider that. That's something to think about. Okay, let's move on. Now, I hate that they use my boy Bernie on this meme, but check this nonsense out right here. Right here. Um, Money attracts the females that you want. Struggle attracts the woman you need. Now, is this not promoting struggle love? So you as a woman, right? Okay, now this is a double message. It's a double whammy right here. Young men reading this are gonna say, "Oh, so I don't need no money. I don't have to work hard to get no money. I can just struggle and just look for a woman who's gonna hold me down and hold me up and build me up and all that sort of stuff. And uh that's going to be the woman I need because she's going to be there. Like dude earlier, the woman bought him a car and did his laptop. And okay, that's the kind of example that they're talking about right here. where she's going to give you everything that you need. Well, no, she's not your mother. Okay? You need to grow the fuck up and supply yourself with your what your needs are. Meet your own needs. And that if you have money, then it's going to attract the women that you want, which is them tens, them dime pieces, them fly girls that be in the videos and stuff that every man fantasizes about having. That's why when you broke and you don't understand why you can't get that, it's because you're broke. They go where the money is. Then they got it like that. Just like Eve was very cute. Why would she settle for some little dusty rapper when she could have a man who had, you know, 50, 60 million? Why would she do that? So yeah, this was kind of a really, when you really look at it, the message here and what it's telling young men and women, this is a horrible, horrible message. And it's so simple that it's very easy for people to read it and absorb it and then take it with them, which is the whole point of a lot of these brainwashing type memes. So you guys got to be real careful when you read this kind of stuff and understand what you're reading and then dismiss it from your mind. Don't take this stuff at face value. There's a message here, and they really trying to program you to be accepting of struggle love. Now, this was funny. I don't know what's under that black mark, but I'm glad I don't know. But look at little dude's face. He all sweaty and woe out, and look how skinny he is. His girlfriend looking all gleeful, and she kind of chunky. Oh, there's not too much to say here. I just thought it was funny as hell. That's all. That's the only reason it's here. Yep, dusty pookies with money. You're right. And some of them don't have the money for long and they don't have much of it because they could be spending it on defense lawyers and then going to jail and they got to put the money they have on their books. Stupid. But I thought, nothing, there's not too much here, just humor. Now we get to this one. This I thought was real interesting. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say uh, in what you guys have to say about this right here. So two people are dating. He said the title is the man wrong for this? The two people are dating, and the woman mentions that she's saving sex for her husband, and the guy's cool with that. And then he mentions that they should always go Dutch for dates because he's saving his money for his wife. The woman points out that's not cool, that he should not take her on dates just because she doesn't want to have sex. He mentions that's not the case at all, but clarifies that just like sex, finances should be reserved for marriage. So what do you think about that? He wants to save his money for his wife. How you going to get a wife when you don't want to take a woman out? I know a guy, actually, he did marry a woman. This guy was just Mr. Cheapy. And they went Dutch the whole time they got married. And then they, each paid half on their wedding. And guess what? Their entire marriage was the continuation of her paying half of everything. Even after she had the baby and she couldn't, she was recovering from childbirth, he still expected her to pay half of everything. And I had told her, you're making a mistake doing this. You should make him step up like a man. There should be what y'all living like roommates. Is he doing half the cooking, half the cleaning, half the laundry, half of that? No, he wasn't doing half of that shit. But he did anything to do with money. He wanted them to go 50-50. And I was like, I wouldn't have married a man like that because he's not taking care of you. And how is he going to be taking care of his kid? I bet you he's not going to do half the child care. So you're going to be doing the child care runs and taking care of the baby. And when the baby's sick, you got to take the baby to the doctor and stay off work to take care of the baby and change the baby diaper and go shopping for the baby and teach the baby everything and does stuff. And he's not going to be doing half of that. So how is this fair and equitable? She didn't understand where I was coming from before they got married, but after she understood. But this guy here, it's like at some point what he wasn't getting, what she was trying to communicate is that she wants to get married and she doesn't want to, she wants to be like not just sleeping around all over the place. But he turned it into this kind of thing where it's going to be, about his money, which case she should have cut it off because that he's not on the marriage track. He's just on the fuck around track. And that's was the main thing that he was, focusing on. Guys who are looking to be married want a woman that has higher morals and is not, than a sleep around type. And so he's just not on that page. But that's a sign, that she ignored or didn't catch. It's not anything to argue with him about. And he's perfectly within his rights to have that attitude. Nobody's telling him that it's wrong. But if you're a woman who's looking for a husband who values, your sexuality as part of the marriage and would be happy that, you reserved it for somebody special, then this is not the guy for you. Exactly. Rena, you're exactly right. That's exactly what happens. Now, this was kind of interesting. Now, to me, uh, this is something you might do with your husband or your boyfriend or something. He meets you at work for a surprise lunch, and you only got an hour, and so y'all go to the little grassy strip in front of your building or in back of the building, by the parking lot or something, on the side of the building, and you sit there under the tree, and he brought a blanket, and you have lunch with him, and you guys, he stopped at Subway, and so that's what this is to me. Is this a date? Or someone that you just met? No, it is not. It's not that. So, this guy's trying to promote that as being an acceptable date. And I'm just like, no, that's not it. You do that kind of shit when, that's your dude, but you're not going to be sitting out there getting like bit by mosquitoes and shit on a date. That's just not it. Not it. Not comfortable. Yeah, you can bite it on your own, but that's what I'm saying. This isn't a date. This is something that to me, this is something that you do when you already have an established relationship with someone. It's your man, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever. He come by and surprise you at work, and then this is, what he did to, because you only got an hour, right? You got to be back at your desk in an hour. So he's not gonna, it can't be too involved. All right. Now this was, I trimmed down all the extra stuff and just put the text. And so I've been seeing this lady for 7 months. To be fair, she's very smart. She has a good job and she supports herself. I've already run around Nassau several times, so now I'm dating to settle down and get married. She doesn't do anything for me. She can spend the weekend at my place, but she wouldn't offer to cook or clean. I spend time at her place too, and no, she doesn't ask me, but I wouldn't mind. If I ask her to cook, she will, and it tastes good, but she doesn't really like to cook. I like to eat home cooked meals almost every day, and I want my woman to do that. Most other girls I have met don't make too much sense or aren't smart or pretty like her. Is it fair to ask her to cook more if she wants us to go further? Okay, I'll leave that up for a minute for everybody who might want to, reread a section before I make my comment. Okay. Now, she supports herself. She's fair. She's pretty and she's smart and she has good sense. And he likes all those things. His only complaint is that she doesn't cook and clean up at his house. Okay, now, please explain to me why she should do that. What is she, a fucking maid? Now, I know a lot of women want to do that. They do that for their boyfriends. A lot of things, I don't think they want to do it. They either do it because his house is nasty and they can't fucking stand it, or they do it because they've been trained to do that by their mothers, or they think that that's what's expected of them. They're not doing it because they want to. Now, if he wants home cooked meals, then nigga get in the kitchen. Okay, remember, some of the world's greatest chefs are men. Why don't you try to, channel that shit? Graham Kerr and all them people. Bryant Terry, he's a vegan chef, but he's good. What's his name that's on TV? The evil one that's always cussing at people. He's had all kind of restaurants. Robert, what's it, Irving? I mean, he's the big time chef on the cooking channel and all this old stuff. So I mean, There are men who are great chefs. They own restaurants. They're successful. They have, multi money. They own these giant restaurants. They're restaurant chains. Remember, what's his name? The little Cajun dude. His food was nasty though. I don't understand how he became famous. That motherfucker could not cook. Uh, but he's still famous. So this dude, dude, get in the kitchen, make the magic happen. I want to eat. That's how my husband got me. He fed my ass because I cook. We both could cook very well, but he cooked different kind of stuff than what I cook. And yeah, Ramsey, that's it. Evil ass. I love watching him cuss people out though, and go off. I'm like, ooh, this is the love of my life. Is my soulmate. But this guy, he's gonna give that up. I mean, nigga, get a maid. Somebody come in and clean your house. That's not her job. She's too fine for that. And she's way too smart. She don't have to clean because she can get her a man that will hire her household help. Is that going to be you, or are you going to lose out and go back to them dusty bitches that you had before? That was cook, but they stupid, right? You didn't really like them. You didn't stay with them. You wasn't impressed by them, but they cooked. So I mean, what you want? Or, you know, she doesn't ask you to clean up in her house. So why do you think that she should do that at yours? She's treating you just like how she wants to be treated, which is you don't come to do housework at other people's house. I clean up before you get here. So, is it fair to ask her to cook more if she wants us to go further? That's his closing question. See there at the bottom. It's fair to ask her to cook more if she wants us to go further. You hold that over her head, you're going to lose her. Okay? You're going to lose her. She'll be like, I don't need to cook. I'm not trying to earn your love, nigga. Fuck you and your empty belly. I don't give a fuck. You could starve. Your belly could touch both. The belly could touch both sides of you. I don't care. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you. Ooh, and I dated this guy who so he could make the best. He could have opened a chicken restaurant. I swear that fried chicken was like lip smacking good. I don't know what he did to that stuff. That's when I still ate such things. But it was really, really good. I was like, dang, I could eat a whole bucket of this. It was so good. So, he's trying to make a determination about what. Here we go. See? Every time we talk about the dust, here come the sirens. He's trying to make a determination about what he wants. And I'm just, yeah, he's willing to lose all the other benefits that she brings in his life over something he could satisfy by getting a cookbook and cooking it himself. Or he could, she doesn't like to cook. Okay, so you try to demand that she do something that she doesn't like. She's going to leave you. You're stupid. This dude is dumb. Just silly. I mean, get you a personal chef if that shit's so important to you. You could get some plates from an old lady. Tell her she cooked this, make two extra plates for me and my girl, and I'll give you $20 or something. And then take your home cooked food on home with you. There you go. Both problems solved. She don't cook, and you get a home cooked meal for $20. Works for me. Okay, now this dude is mad. I missed the first part. Somebody sent me this, so I don't know what the conversation, what the first part was, and why he has, why he's talking about why poor people shouldn't have sex. But some woman must have said that if you're poor, that you shouldn't be having sex, or is it just poor men? Classist BS. If you won't have sex with someone because they're poor, you're a trash ass human being. No. That's a woman with good sense. And since the other one comes with this James person, they think they're special. They are special. That's why you mad. You wouldn't be mad if she wasn't special. You wouldn't give a shit. But you mad because you're broke and you're a dusty and you don't want your life to be pussyless. That's what's happening here. That's why your lip is stuck out. But guess what? No one, if you broke, you shouldn't be having sex. You know why? Because sex makes babies. Babies cost money. Child support, diapers. They need shit. And if you're broke, you don't have any money and you won't be able to do all of that. So a woman who's sleeping with a broke man who can't do anything for her is a fool. And I said it. And I know a lot of you women will do that. I tell you, my daddy was a straight. I still don't understand how my parents got together because that nigga was hood, and my mother was like, oh, little church girl and speaking French and all this old stuff. Completely opposite. But that nigga was straight up to us that if you, when you get to be to the age where you want to start sleeping with men, don't you ever fuck for free. And I was all affected. I was about 15 or 16 when he was telling me this. Wasn't thinking about doing none of that stuff yet. And I was like, all horrified, Daddy, what do you mean, my virgin ears? Oh my God. But he was like, nah, that's not what you do. You a woman and you sleeping with some dude and you need something and that motherfucker don't come through. Nah, he's out. Or you got, you struggling and stuff, and that nigga driving around with, new cars, new rims, new clothes and stuff, but he watching you struggle. Nah, get rid of that nigga. If the nigga knows you need stuff, he's supposed to come in the door with what you need, or come in the door with the money for you to buy it. That's how he shows that he's your man. So, I was like, and it's like my father and uncles all had that mentality. They're like, no, you don't give up shit for free. That's the bottom line. Niggas know they got to pay. They either pay now or they pay later. So the ones that want to pay later paying child support for 18 years. Like Kanye say. I love that song. But anyway, that's my lesson to young girls. Do not fuck for free and do not be fucking with no dusty broke bum. Okay, if he can't afford to take you out and get you nice things and little gifts and stuff, nigga always pinching pennies and try to borrow money from you and all this kind of stuff, don't you touch him. Don't you let him even in your house. He's too broke. No, that's why you don't fuck with no dusty bum. You wouldn't get pregnant if you ain't fucking with him in the first place. He won't be nowhere around you. No, all my boyfriends used to come up with all kind of stuff. Still have some of those little bracelets and necklaces and stuff that they gave me. I mean, they look kiddie-ish, but I still have them because they were mine. They gave them to me. So, you have to understand that there's a rhythm to all of this, ladies. A lot of you didn't have daddies that would tell you this, or you grew up in environments where that kind of thing was frowned upon and women were called, bad names for being like that, like gold diggers and hoes and all this kind of stuff. Believe me, they know what the deal is. They just trying to, shame you into accepting less and not putting the brakes on and making demands on them. So here's these two broke dusties commiserating with each other about it. They think they special. Nigga, you think they special too. That's why you over there crying about it. Silly man. All right. Now this was like, oh, okay. Sometimes a man hurts every woman who enters his life because his true soulmate is a man. I'm like, alrighty then. Not too much to say about that, but we do have a lot of the DL things in the black community, and on my wall, on the YouTube wall under that video, was a guy trying to argue with me about it, and Faith want to borrow. Miss Pink Seekers want to borrow my mask. Girl, I'm trying to tell you. Under that video is the guy was trying to argue with me about why women were wrong for not wanting to mess with a bisexual man. I'm like, take your dookie smelling ass on away from here. Don't nobody want to be bothered with you. And he was just like all of his feelings about the fact that women, all the women were like, no, we ain't checking for you. And he was just too upset. He just went on and on back and forth. I think I had to block him because he was just doing too much. But a lot of dudes just have to understand this. They haven't reached this point of acceptance about themselves yet. And that's just the way it is. All right. Now, I was like, what is this supposed to be? There's like Idris and what's his name? Trevor Noah talking, laughing on, in the picture, and then two women duking it out. And talking about two niggas finding out they smashed the same chick versus two chicks finding out they smashed the same nigga. Notice how most of these memes, these stupid things, are made by black men. Why is that? Don't they have jobs or something to do with themselves besides sit around and make stupid memes? Have you noticed that? there's and these people have sent me hundreds of these. Now I know all of them aren't really like for our format. Some of them are interesting, but they're not really dusty enough to be on the show. So they're not, they probably won't ever be here. But when you think of the sheer volume of them, it's kind of amazing. These folks don't have no time. Don't I mean no nothing to do with their time besides stupid stuff. So I'm like, wow. So, ladies, if you should ever find yourself in a position where you discover that someone that you know, family, a friend, a neighbor, someone that you're acquainted with, and you and her have both smashed the same dude, or you're in, together and you think you're together with him and he's smashing someone else, please do not demean yourself, degrade yourself, and lower your value by acting like a hoodlum fighting over some chump. I don't care if you're married to him. He could be your baby daddy. You could have 12 children by him. I don't care. You do not ever fight a woman over a man. What you do is tell him, baby, come here. And then you get a ribbon and you tie it on his head. And then you push him out the door to her. That's what you do. Because he's a dust mite. You don't fight over dust mites. You don't do that. They're not worth anything. They're not worth you losing your dignity over, losing your mind over, acting a fool over. You do not ever do that. You maintain your composure. You think about this logically, and yes, it may hurt your feelings. It's going to hurt your feelings. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt your feelings. But you handle it like a G. Don't you be going out there acting a zip damn fool, embarrassing me. I don't want to hear about no shit like you acting like that. That's just undignified. One thing that you must do as a woman at all times is maintain your dignity. Even if you cuss somebody out, you maintain your dignity. You do it in a classy way. You don't be doing all of this stuff. Okay? You sit there like how I'm doing it. This is how I cuss people out. I just look at them and then I just rip. My heart rate doesn't even go up. Because I have already made up in my mind that you're out of my life and this is your going away present. You're gone. Ta ta. So, I've seen a lot of, pictures and videos online and stuff where these young women are going at it, fighting over dude. Don't ever do that. Don't ever, ever, ever do that. And if some woman start trying to come at you, say, look, it's nothing to fight about, honey, because I'm out. I'm out the picture. I'm done. You can have him. He can have you. There's no reason for us to even have another word about this subject because I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm out of here. Okay, that's what you do. That is how you handle it. Okay, let's move on. This was some amazing stuff right here. I'm like, what is this hideousness? And I looked at it up close. I put it in my Photoshop and I blew it way up so I could look at the ingredients closely. It's green onions, look like some sausages, maybe some hot links. I don't know what kind of sausage it is, with some Velveeta or something melted over the top, with some top ramen, and it's all mixed together. And so he's like, if she can't eat one of these with me, we'll never be in a relationship, and I can't trust her because she will fold on me. Do you know what this looked like? A prison spread. That's what it looked like. Y'all didn't know I knew about that, huh? That's what that shit looked like. It looked like a spread because, they made everything out of it. They are some ingenious, creative people with some ramen. Child, I wouldn't even feed that shit to my dog, and I don't even have a dog. But if I did have a dog, I would be disgraced. Couldn't even feed that to my dog. Don't that look like a spread? That jailhouse food, that's right. I know a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't know. Yes, there's beans in there. There's some kidney beans, green onions, look like maybe some salsa because it's a little bit of red and mixed in there, and some, look like sauce hot dog. I mean, no, it's too dark to be hot dog. That's what I think is some hot links and ramen and the cheese on top. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, she will fold on me. She sure will. She'll fold up just like a bad poker hand, honey. Like, that's not gonna work, Holmes. This is, and this came from my archives. I found this on my computer. I don't know how many years. Probably had this about 20 years of my computer going from one drive to another as I upgraded. But I found this. I thought this shit is hilarious. I still remember when I found it. It was like the late 90s when I found this picture. It's been on my computer ever since. Oh, look at the doggy crying. Oh my God. Okay, now this gets interesting. This gets interesting here. Now, notice, I don't know if you can see the writing under here really well, but he put little captions under each one of the pictures here, which is supposed to indicate what a young woman is saying. And in his mind, um, she is, I'm trying to get to where I can see this and I need to be able to read it. I gotta try to blow it up. Where's the original of this damn thing? Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. All right. So he's saying this. Man, he lame. Nah, I don't like that. I like dread. Nah, he gay. Well, they do have them lips though. The one that says under lame has them lips. And look at these fools with all these like markings all over their face. I don't understand that mentality. But I have what he says here. So, let me break down what a pookie is. Pookie is a typical hood bum with no ambitions as a black man. He can be found in clubs, at the corner store, soliciting everybody for spare change, the small time petty drug hustler, or on the corner. Pookie still think he has a career in rap. They rarely have a vehicle or their own cribs in their own name, let alone a legal job. Some typically have more than one baby mama. Pookie's street credit is sought from his jack of all trades and lying and macking skills, as well as their ability to get bras hooked on his A+ eggplant game. these dudes of these type of dudes usually have nothing going on for themselves, except that most of the time they're in top physical shape from working out in prison and out on probation. Black women, stop lumping all us black women in some of y'all poor taste choices in men. That some of y'all be getting bad advice from some of your bitter girlfriends, end up making Facebook posts later talking about these niggas ain't shit and ain't no good real men out here because said Poogie done broke your hearts or done something stupid like harmed you and your child for being with him and bring him around your children. Okay, he lost me on that last paragraph, but I'm thinking what he's like, he hurt you and the children and you brought him around, and so you just got to take that L. I do believe that's what he's trying to say. Okay, now when you see this, uh, I mean, what? At least he did specify this girls under 30. Girls are under 18. Okay, girls are under 18. Young ladies are 18 to, I don't know, I'd say 30. And then after they're 30, they're women. They're adult women. And you don't call them girls. So I'm just kind of amazed at his idea of what women are going for. And do young ladies really date dudes that look like this? I would imagine some probably do, huh? Because I guess they have some kids or whatever. But man, talk about self-hate. Look at the eyes on those guys on the bottom. They just look dead inside. I mean, who would mutilate themselves like that unless they hated themselves? And their eyes look so empty and soulless. They have seen some shit. Those young men have been really seriously damaged. And it just shows in their the eye. There's this dark emptiness. There's no light in there at all. So when I see people like this walking down the street, I run from them. I don't know, but pronounced like a queen, like queens is what the hell is this? We don't know, girl. We just marveling at it. We never said that we understood it. We just talking shit about it just because we can. Just like we don't know. I can't call it. I don't want no man with I don't like tattoos. I don't like tattoos at all. All right. I think this is the last one. I saved these from last week. Pretending you don't see niggas staring at you is a skill. Pretending you don't hear niggas catcalling you is an extreme sport. So, and you know how we have to do when we go down the street. You do it is an extreme sport. Shoot. I need a gold medal for that stuff. Well, they don't bother me that much anymore because I'm too old. But the older dude, the young dudes with this cat calls and stuff, they don't really bother me. But it's the older dudes that want to be trying to holler. Oh, miss, can I talk to you for a minute? Nope, you sure can't. I'm not really trying to be bothered, thanks. Okay, and then there we go. That's what we started with. So I do want to thank you guys for sending those in, though, and let you, if you want to send in some dusty things for a future show, this is where you send them. Email them survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line Dusty News. So we'll filter into my folder for the Dusty News Network shows. But there you go, survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line Dusty News, just like that, Dusty News. All right. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and that you learn something. I mean, I know I make a lot of fun of these things and everything, but I'm doing this for a reason. And the reason is these things are so prevalent over the internet. And I think a lot of young women you don't understand what you're seeing. And so you're reading this stuff, right? And you're absorbing it as something that is factual, even though you may not be aware of it. Your subconscious absorbs these kinds of messages. That's why I'm trying to make you conscious of what you're seeing so that you can say, well, you'll think about it. You won't just read and be like, oh, because now it's planted. That's what they're going for. That's what they want. They want you to be bombarded with this barrage of nonsense that promotes pick meism and slavery to men, struggle love, that you're nothing without a man, that you're nothing compared to women of other races, that you're supposed to be with somebody who's broken, dusty, and that if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Did you notice the theme of these things tonight? And every week, but it's the overwhelming message that you as young black females are just being shoved down your throat on a daily basis on social media. So you have got to become more aware and conscious of what you're reading and what they're trying to get you to absorb into your spirit and to think about yourself, to lower your self-esteem, to make you feel like you nothing without a man, to make you feel insecure and doubt yourself. And to sit up there and say, well, you ain't got no man, or you married, the way that they say it. So then you feel small and wrong. Okay, then they turn around and hit you with this, yeah, that's why we don't want to marry you. You ain't marriage material. You don't cook, you don't clean, you don't do that. Okay, so they're setting you up to become this maid and this giver and taking care of them and all stuff while you chase this ring that they're never really going to offer you anyway, and make you jump through all these hoops and go through all these changes to try to gain their approval. You've got to be conscious of what you're reading. Don't just look at stuff. You have your psychic shield up and get your mind right. Okay, because you're doing battle out here. This is some very serious shit that these dudes are doing. And it's like hundreds of them, probably thousands. I mean, we've only done this show. This is what, the fifth one or something? So we've only scratched the surface of this. So you guys really need to be, conscious of what's going on out here in these internet streets, And, get your psychic shield up, ladies. I'm going to do my I can on my part, but you got to do the rest. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming and sitting in for the Dusty News Network broadcast on July 12th, 2019. We'll be doing this all summer. Like I said, send your Dusty News in to survivingdating@gmail.com with a description, the subject line of Dusty News. I will see you guys. I'll probably be back on Sunday. I will have some stuff I want to, catch up with about with you, and I think we'll do that on Sunday. So watch for it. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel and watch for the notification. All right. I will see you very soon. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your time with me. Thanks, mods. Check you guys out later.